In October of 1993, 12-year-old Polly Klaas was abducted from her mother's home in California.
In Northern California, a major break in the search for 12-year-old Polly Klaas, the Petaluma girl abducted from a slumber party 2 months ago. Police have arrested a man they now call the prime suspect in that case.
1 year later, her father, Mark Klaas, established the Klaas Kids Foundation. Its goal is to stop crimes against children while helping the families of those who have gone missing. Brad Dennis, the original search director for Polly Klaas, continued to expand the services of Klaas Kids and established the Search Center for Missing and Trafficked Children, along with the Polly Center in Pensacola, Florida.
Polly Center itself got started just through a vision of going out and responding to a lot of child abduction cases and child trafficking cases around the country. And unfortunately, what we know about child abduction cases is that 74% of them are murdered within the first 3 hours. You know, time is against us. What happens typically is that a family will notify us that their child is missing, their child has disappeared, they have been abducted, or they have been trafficked. Our search manager and one of our caseworkers will interview the family, work with law enforcement, and come up with a game plan of exactly how we need to deploy in this case. If it's sex trafficking, we're obviously going to work with law enforcement to try to uncover exactly where this child is being trafficked and where this child is located. If the child is missing, we will more than likely deploy our entire search team.
We got to make sure we've got all this done because today's the 18th, right?
Yeah.
And these are the things that we've been working on for the 18th. We've got to figure out.
This team of people, they're dedicated to what they do. It's not like just doing a volunteer job. There's never any thought behind us being a volunteer. It's just what we do.
I think it's a mixed range or mixed bag of emotions that goes on inside of a person when they're going to these searches. You know, anywhere from, you know, adrenaline to excitement to fear of the unknown. What's this family having to go through? Am I going to be able to help this family? So, you know, it's a variety of emotions, if you will.
The dogs are very important when it comes to search and rescue because they literally cut our jobs in half. We're actually able to work more area and cover more area. Come on. The search and rescue dogs, their sense of smell is at least 40 to 60% more than ours. So it makes it a lot more efficient for them to be able to go out because they can smell something that much better and that much further away than we can actually smell it.
Keeping your faith, keeping that hope and keeping that light alive in the midst of all of that darkness out there is a very difficult thing to do.
She was last.
Mm-hmm.
That's where she was last.
And is this a main road, interstate? Yeah. Sometimes we never bring these children home. Sometimes we may not have an answer, but we are here, and that for those missing families that don't think anybody cares, for all the stories that you see on the news, there's other stories, there's other children, there's other families that mean just as much, and that their loved one is missing and need just as much attention.
When there is a case that's left unsolved and we can't get any closure on it, that's hard not only for us, it's hard on everyone involved.
We desperately need the support from communities, from churches, from groups. You know, without their support, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. We began training churches on how to do street outreach and how to actually talk to people about human trafficking. We want them to be empowered enough to respond that when someone goes missing in their community, or if they find out that sex trafficking is happening in their area, that they're willing to take a stand against it.
Which area did you last year in? Was it near the cemetery or was it more towards your...
I think nobody wants to know about human trafficking because it's too big of an issue to think you can stop, and you feel like as one person you can't really do a lot about it, but if you do something about it, other people may want to.
You know, the public can really help in this by really understanding this stuff is existing and it does happen to our children every day. Child predation is very real. There are predators out there amongst us that are wanting to prey upon the naive and the vulnerable. And so we need to empower our kids.
So don't be discouraged and think, well, what can I do? Because I jumped into it not knowing what in the world I would be able to offer this organization. And I've got involved in a little bit of all of it, and it's been very rewarding for me.
Obviously, the biggest rewards is when we get to go find a missing child and bring them home and have that recovery, have that reunification.
And even if you just save one person from it, you saved one person.
Would you like to get involved? Call the Poly Center at 850-525-4807. Your help and support can make a difference.